Hello, Dr. Bari. This is Sean Wade. I'm president of the Royal Commonwealth Society, Mainland of British Columbia branch. We've talked on the telephone, we've wrote for a couple of years, and it's the first time you've seen me in video. I made this video because we're working on the sweater order, and there were a couple of things I thought might be better addressed if you saw a live video stream, which this will go on YouTube, and I thought this might be better for you. Today, of course, is Remembrance Day, November the 11th, Armistice Day, and we celebrate or we commemorate the end of the Great War and of all wars, and commemorate the sacrifices of Commonwealth soldiers from Pakistan or British India as it then was, from Canada, Dominion of Canada, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, other places, for our freedom. So today I wear the poppy, of course, and I wanted to just pause for a moment to reflect on the many soldiers from all of our countries who gave the ultimate sacrifice. As you can see, we're wearing the Dr. Bari tie, the cufflinks, the recently purchased braces, thank you very much, and of course, the tie slide. So we are working on the Royal Commonwealth Society merchandise. We will now work on the cricket sweaters. We'll pause for just a second. We're back. As you can see, I am wearing the Royal Commonwealth Society cricket sweater, which is very lovely. I talked to Mr. Andrew in Toronto, and he brought up a couple of interesting issues that I hadn't thought of before. One, he said the neckline was kind of low on this one. So as you can see, it goes down to the third shirt button. So I went through my collection of cricket sweaters and found there were discovered a couple of interesting things. Now, you've seen the sweater on me, and it is not a bad fit. The sleeves could be a bit longer. It goes down to here. I mean, the picture hasn't changed from what you've seen. So I looked at some of my cricket sweaters and came up with some interesting observations. So we're now going to look at a couple of my cricket sweaters and some images, and we'll give you some suggestions. We're going to pause now, please. Hello, I'm back. This is another sweater, one of my favorite cricket sweaters. It's an extra large North American size. As you can see, it's a little bit more relaxed in the shoulders. As you can see, I've had to roll up part of the sleeve because it's a bit long, which is the way I like it, which way it should be with a cricket sweater. The cricket sweater goes to here. I can pull it up, I can pull it down. And as you see, the collar is much tighter up here. It goes to essentially the first button, whereas the other one was down to here, the way I wore it. What's unique about sweaters from this particular manufacturer, and is I shouldn't really give you the label, but anyways, is when you hold it up, it's almost like a V. It's like this is the same manufacturer's sweater. It goes like a V, whereas when we hold up your fine sweater, it goes around. So I'm not sure whether, anyways, that's just a design feature, but this is a better, how would I say this? A better length for the sweater. But I have found some other interesting things. So we certainly would like the sweater to fit more like this than the one you saw in my the previous video, and some of the pictures, previous excerpt from the video, and the pictures that we sent you. So we're going to pause now, please. I'm back. This is another cricket sweater from my fairly extensive collection of cricket sweaters. I sort of collect these. This one is by Gunn & Moore, bought at Lily White's. It's actually a real cricket sweater. It's actually acrylic. It's what they use to play cricket, so it gets the grass stains out. As you can see, again, higher neck, rolled up, goes down to a good height, very roomy. It's a large, and it says 42. It's an English large, and it says 42. There's a couple of interesting design features about this sweater, and I feel that since this was a sweater produced to play cricket to English standards, it's as good a model for us to use as any other. I think we can pause now. Hello, I'm back again. All right, so this is yet another sweater with the thing at the right level. The seam is on my back, not on my shoulder. I found with your sweater, your lovely sweater, that the seam here, which joins the back piece to this piece, the seam here, was right along my shoulder line. Now, we'll use the Gunn & Moore sweater as our model. It's not that it's like this, which is not unlike this. So they're pretty close. So with the Gunn & Moore sweater, I found the seam again was here. My shoulder line is here, but the seam of the sweater, the seam of the sweater was here, which my shoulder line is, let's just use this. What do I have here? My shoulder line is here. The seam is, I'll show you the seam here. My shoulder line is here, and the seam is around here. We will try and take a still of that for you after the video. My colleague will do this for me. We'll do some digital photography for you so you can see it. So whereas here, this lovely sweater here, this is the seam, very lovely. The seam is here, and that seam sits on my shoulder. Now, looking at the Gunn & Moore sweater, looking at various other sweaters, I think because this was too small for me, it probably got pulled down. I did pull this seam back, and if it goes over my shoulders, the neckline goes up a little closer to what this one is, or the other sweater. So it's very possible if I have the right size sweater, the neckline will be higher. But we have to make sure the neckline is from the torso about one button down. So like we want the top button here, one button to show on a shirt if you wore it with a shirt, and then the neckline kicks in. If it's too high, it's not good. If it's too low, I don't mind it the way it is, but some people made some comments. Now, my friend who tried the second photograph I showed you of Tim, Chinese gentleman wearing that with one of your lovely cravats, his neckline wasn't too bad. Now, I couldn't tell he had a cravat on. It might have been a bit low, so it could, that sweater fit him, this extra large that you made fit him better than it fit me, clearly. One other thing, again, we'll have to do a digital photography probably to show you, but the Gunn & Moore sweater here, we have a wider border here between the stripe and the edge of the sweater. On your sweater, we have a more narrower band. Is it possible for you to give me a wider band like this on this? Just a little bit. As you can see, it goes from about half an inch. This is about 1.5 inches. So what I'd like, if this makes sense for you, I'd like this white part to be as big as this one is here. I can send you the dimensions from this sweater. The stripes here are broader. I mean, the stripes here are broader, but I don't mind them unless putting the white band here is going to completely throw out the symmetry. You see, we better do this here. It's a better example. If you could do me a white band a bit longer, I'll send you the dimensions in an email. We'll measure. I think this was 1/2 inch. I think this was 1.5 inches. So could you give me a little bit more white if you can do 1 inch? And if you can only do it a bit wider. I just thought this looks nicer. Presentation wise, a wider band, and it might take away from the fact that this is down a bit. If this is a bit wider, it might look a bit better. The cuffs, this is fine. That's no problem. And this is fine. Hopefully in a sweater that fits me, I'll be able to roll this up a bit as I do with the Gunn & Moore sweater, okay? Normally when you wear a sweater like this, there's always a little bit of, it's usually like this. And you can wear it like this if your arm is a bit long, or you can roll it back to here. Now, I'm wearing, this is a large. You saw this on me. This is your extra large. This is another manufacturer in America. And this is a large on me. So you see, I would have liked the sleeves a bit longer on this one, but that's not how it turned out. So hopefully my arms are 36 inches. Hopefully you make, like I wear a 36-inch, 35 or 36-inch shirt. Hopefully you can make something for us that will, be like, more like this on the sleeves, this around the neck, and this, I guess, with the seam will go, again, the seam on this one is behind my shoulder, which means I think the problem with this sweater is it was probably a little small. I could certainly still wear it, but it probably had to stretch it and pull it to make it fit. So maybe if we have the right fitting of this sweater, it may well be that it will sit properly on my shoulders and the neck will not droop. But the neck, according to Mr. Andrew, was a little droopy, a little long. I have other examples here, but they fit pretty much the same. Again, piping. This one again has a wider thing than your example. This one is again from the same manufacturer. It kind of some of them kind of droop a bit, but anyways, I think you get the picture. We can pause now, please. Hello, I'm back. So as you know, we wanted different kinds of sweaters. So we want 2 or 3 like this, which is of the sleeveless variety. Same idea, same, again, so this is without the sleeves. It's a sleeveless variety. Okay, so that's one pattern. You can stop. You can pause now. Please record. Finally, we have this other sweater, which is actually one of my favorite sweaters, and it is, of course, a cricket cardigan with the buttons. And we had discussed this. I, for one, definitely want one of these, and you said you could make them. So just so you know, kind of, the same design, same stripes, everything. If you make it a little wider here, that's great. If you make it, I don't really care. This is for me, so I'm not as picky, but this is one of my 2 favorite sweaters in the whole wide world. I've had it for 32 years. I bought it in England. So I would dearly love a cricket cardigan in our beautiful Royal Commonwealth Society colors as you've made them here. So I hope that makes sense. I will give you some dimensional measurements for the cuffs and stuff like that. And I hope that makes sense. We have our meeting tomorrow, which is Friday, and hopefully I'll have good news for you. Toronto, I think, will take 5 of them, but they had concerns about the V-neck. And I think it's either that it was made a little lower, or because of the seam, because of the size of the sweater, on me, it could well be that it sat lower than it should. But we want to make sure that the V-neck is down 2 buttons from the neck, not 3, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. I've enjoyed making this video. I think it's going on YouTube. I think it's one of my original ones on YouTube. So I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and we can exchange YouTube video clips if we want to look at some design features. So thank you very much. And I look forward to chatting with you soon.